Pastor Bryan here for a, believe it or not, 10-minute overview of the Bible. This is a tool that my father passed on to me. It's found in a very famous book, The Mighty Acts of God. It's a symbol that helps us kind of get a layout of Scripture. So you're going to need a piece of paper and you're going to need to follow along. But the great thing about video courses is you can pause it and get caught up, or you can rewind and go back through it. So start with this symbol and this simple truth. So if you draw a big X on your page, a big X that's open at the top, open at the bottom, and leave room to the right side of the X. Draw the X and leave room to the right side. That is a symbol for the two halves of the Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament. So we're going to write that in our symbol. Old Testament, New Testament. So the Bible is two halves, and it begins with creation. Oh, my marker may not be bright enough, so let me switch to a red marker. It begins with creation as a story, and it ends with the story of a new creation. Creation to new creation. Genesis to Revelation. From the Old Testament to the New Testament, God is doing some saving work. And so we could label this, the Bible, a history of salvation. The Bible, a history of salvation. It flows from before there was time, out of nothing. God created all things. And it ends with, in Revelation, the new creation. A lot of people think the Bible ends with the end of the world. It does not. It is a parallel from beginning to end that God has created all things and He's going to recreate all things for His glory. So now if we move through the Old Testament, you'll notice the story of salvation is not about everybody in the world. It does begin with the story of Adam and Eve and humankind. Okay? All things, and now God is going to talk about specifically this story of God's work is about God's relationship with people. We have the high place in the story of creation. So the Bible gets more specific now. Creation. Now the story of salvation is not about God saving all things. Really, the high point is about people. And God chooses a specific set of people from within humankind. Okay, so Abraham, through whom we get Israel. Notice the story is getting more focused from creation to Adam and Eve and humankind. And now the story of salvation is about God choosing a very specific people through whom He's going to bless the world. The Old Testament is getting more focused. Now it gets even more focused if you read from Genesis through the last book of the Old Testament. We end up with something called the remnant. So God's people fall into sinfulness and their land is conquered and they are scattered. They are not completely abolished. They are scattered. And that remnant is where we trace the line of Jesus Christ. Now notice where I'm putting Jesus' name on the symbol, right here at the point. The Bible is very specific about in whom the history of salvation culminates. In Jesus. God created all things. He created all people. He chose some people. Those people in their unfaithfulness fell and were only a remnant remained. But from that remnant, we trace the line of Jesus, through whom God does His saving work. From very broad, the beginning of the Bible, to very specific, transitioning into the New Testament. Now notice there's a parallel. Jesus does his saving work through a few apostles. Notice the parallel. There's a few left in the Old Testament. Jesus Christ is the one in whom we find salvation. And in the New Testament, a few become the focal point of Jesus' work. Because through the apostles, we then get the church. The New Testament talks about this in this order. We have a nation. Now we have a new nation, Christians. We are the chosen people through whom God does his saving work. We point to the one who saves. Now the Bible, before it finishes in the New Testament, also alludes to more generally with the coming kingdom on earth that is an extension of the church to bless the world. Now notice, the Old Testament started with Adam and Eve and humankind. Now we're talking about the coming kingdom that will be on earth, and we're in those times now, this new reality, before the new creation. So this hasn't occurred yet. When it does, the story of salvation will be complete. Now, the beauty of this symbol, from creation to new creation, the history of salvation, the beauty of it is you can add your own notes in between this, and you will find there's a way to put the Bible together that makes sense. From beginning to new beginning, the point of the Bible is Jesus Christ, in whom we find salvation. We look back at this defining moment and see how God has been spreading the message through his chosen people again. The remnant of the Old Testament fell and were scattered. Jesus Christ was born among humans, and through him, he chose a small band. That band became the church. That church is becoming the new kingdom on earth until the new creation comes. Fascinating to look at. I hope this helps. By all means, send some comments. That's the Bible in less than 10 minutes. And here are a few fun Bible facts for you at the end of the video. Thanks for listening. The Bible in 10 minutes.